Hey, Sergeant Davis, how you doing this morning?
What do you gotta do so far?
Yeah, not too bad. Hey, can I get a 10 JG?
Let's grab the stuff I need for the job. Tools, TOs, job guides, rags, truck. Okay, out to the jet. No fire bottle.
Hey, Pat, can you move the fire bottle in position?
Let's see. Where's that job guide? I know I put it in here somewhere. Here it is. All right, fire bottle's in place. Let's see. What have we here? Nothing peculiar here.
Welcome to F-16 Maintenance on Explosive Loaded Aircraft. This program has 4 major themes woven throughout. Our main goal is to cover maintenance safety procedures for explosive loaded F-16 aircraft. By no means is this program all-inclusive. We're merely highlighting the more common issues. So, for the most current and complete information, always check with your supervisor, job guides, and technical orders. In addition, we're emphasizing aircraft form checks and safer maintenance procedures. All these things are absolutely essential before working on any aircraft. Thirdly, we're covering safety issues and the means by which to identify safe munitions. And finally, we're detailing some of the maintenance procedures that are allowed on explosive loaded aircraft. Let's take a moment to define what an explosive loaded aircraft is. Technically, it's considered explosive loaded when it contains internal stores such as 20mm ammunition, impulse cartridges, chaff and flares, or external stores like live missiles, bombs, or loaded rockets. But remember, an aircraft is not considered explosive loaded when it merely contains aircrew, escape systems, and survival kits. So now, let's cover the more common explosive items likely seen on the aircraft.
Let's see. First, gear pins. Wow switch, not depressed. How are the chocks? Gear pins. Let's see. What's next? Okay, aircraft's grounded. Let me see. External fuel tank pin. Impulse cartridge is good.
As you deal with pylon impulse cartridges, notice there are 2 common configurations. In one case, they could be in and unsealed, which means they're armed. Depending on scheduled maintenance, a weapons tech may be required to remove them before work continues. Then secondly, the cartridge liners can be found reversed, which means the impulse carts are removed and safe.
All right, AOA cover secure. Let's go check the cockpit. Let's see, seat, pinned and safe.
Obviously, this is only a small portion of safer maintenance activities. So in order to finish this procedure correctly, I suggest you look at the appropriate job guides, tech orders, and/or check with the weapons expediter. It's essential that you accomplish safer maintenance prior to any work, regardless if the aircraft is explosive loaded or otherwise.
Let's see, 20mm gun. Gun pinned and streamer installed in the electrical hole from outside to in. Gun is safe. Rounds limiter set to 990 and on. Clearing sector holdback tool installed.
Remember, this is merely one configuration for the 20mm gun. There's also an instance where the pin and streamer are installed from the inside out. Look for the clearing sector holdback tool to be in, and the rounds limiter set to 990 and on. When you see this, the gun is considered cold.
Okay, now, chaff and flares. Electrical safety pin and streamer installed on the right aft trailing edge flap. Let's see, ALE 50 safety pin installed.
For those who might see the PIDS pylons, ensure the safety pin is in the aft pylon fairing. Let's now turn to externally stored munitions with impulse cartridges. These cartridges are used in a number of locations. We've already seen external fuel tank pylon cartridges, so let's look at external munition stores pylons or suspension unit carts. In either case, there are 2 common options. First, the carts are often found torqued into position with the hex head out. This indicates armed. Or secondly, they're found tightened, in place, and secured together with a seal or other suitable method. These are then identified as de-armed. I trust you're able to recognize these 2 configurations and readily identify an unsafe condition. As always, if you're ever in doubt, check with the weapons expediter. Now, let's review the different external munition stores you're likely to see. One unit you'll encounter is the Su-20. When bombs are loaded on this unit, look at the intervalometer to see that it's in a safe position. In addition, Look in the rear for the electrical circuit disconnect safety spring, which resembles a horseshoe. Plus, look for 6 mechanical ejector gun safety pins with visible streamers under the rack. These ensure that the unit and bombs are safe and ground crew members are protected from unintentional release. If one or more of the items are missing or seem inappropriate, call the weapons expediter for assistance. Another common rack you'll often see is the TER 9A, triple ejector rack, which is pinned at the pylon. This rack has an electrical and mechanical safety device. An electrical safety pin is installed in the aft end of an unmodified TER, inhibiting electrical current from reaching the impulse carts. Plus, there's a mechanical safety pin for each loaded TER station. However, in the case of modified TERs, there's a toggle switch in place of the electrical safing pin. This switch should be in the safe position, and if not, call the weapons expediter. Keep in mind your goal is avoidance of inadvertent release of anything from this station. Now, as you look under both wings, notice there are a number of possible weapons configurations. Although we don't have enough time to cover each possible configuration here, let's identify a number of common munitions attached to various missions. The types included are general purpose bombs, like the Mark 82 or Mark 84, cluster bombs, guided bombs, and practice bombs like the BDU-33. When you have Mark 82s or 84s, you'll always find them pinned at the pylon. However, based on different fusing requirements, you'll find a number of safing configurations for each bomb. So, check with your weapons expediter for specific safing requirements. Now, when it comes to cluster bombs like the CBU 87, 89, and 97, the only pins installed are the pylon safing pin and TER safing pin. If on the other hand you have CBU 103, 104, or 105s, look to see that the pylon safing pin is installed. Additionally, you could find the AGM 154A, commonly referred to as the JSOW. In this case, there's only one pin required, the pylon safing pin. Let's turn now to guided bombs, or GBUs, such as the GBU 10, 12, 24, and or 31. Two items that need emphasizing. One, don't touch the munitions lanyard located at the front of the bomb, because once activated, it burns out the guidance unit. Additionally, there's another lanyard at the rear of the bomb which activates the tail fin assembly, so be careful. As you look at the GBU 10, 12, or 24, you'll see there's also one safety pin and streamer in the tail fin assembly that is not removed until EOR. You should keep in mind that guided bombs are mostly found on wing pylons, but the GBU 12 may be loaded on a TER. Regarding the GBU 31, it comes in 2 body styles and a single wing pylon safing pin. Let's now turn to the smaller practice bombs which contain an explosive charge, the BDU 33s. These are found loaded on either the Su-20 or the TER. Each has its own peculiarity. If the BDU 33 is loaded on the Su-20, you will find the safety blocks removed once they're loaded, but if the BDU 33 is loaded on the TER, the safety blocks remain until the aircraft reaches end of runway and are then removed at that time. It's important to remember this distinction. Now obviously, bombs are only one element of the numerous munition combinations available. By adding a number of different missile systems, we've increased the aircraft capability and missions available. We can add air-to-air missiles such as the AIM-9 Sidewinder and AIM-120 AMRAAM, or we can add air-to-ground missiles like the AGM-88 HARM and AGM-65 Maverick, which further add to the aircraft's armament capabilities. These are the missiles most commonly found on the F-16. Let's look at some of the missile safety issues prior to any maintenance on an explosive-loaded aircraft. When the air-to-air AIM-9 missile is loaded on the LAU-129 launcher, it's considered safe when the following are accomplished. The umbilical cable is disconnected and the shorting cap is installed, as well as ensuring the arming handle is placed in the safe position, and the arming handle safety pin, diaper pin, is installed. Then check that the guidance unit dome and influence fuse target detector covers are installed along with the striker points being disengaged. If any of these elements are questionable or incorrect, call the weapons expediter for further clarification. Although we discussed the AIM-9 loaded on the LAU-129, it's also found on the AIM-9 launcher. If this is the case, look further to see that the missile umbilical cable is disconnected and the shorting cap is installed. Ensure the arm handle is in the safe position and the arm handle safing pin, diaper pin, is installed again. Plus, ensure the launcher electrical ground safety pin, lollipop, is installed in the launcher. Make sure the guidance unit dome cover is in place and the influence fuse target detector cover is installed. Now, if the AIM-120 AMRAAM missile is installed on the LAU-129 launcher, there is only one way to ensure the unit is safe. Look through the missile sight window for a white S on a green background. If, on the other hand, you see a black A on a red background, the missile is armed and you need to call the weapons expediter immediately. Keep in mind that there's a difference between the training missile safe indicator and the live missile indicator. Notice too, on the right side, the AIM-120 is positioned such that you may need a ladder or mirror to see the arming indicator. With air-to-air missiles out of the way, let's turn to air-to-ground units and their launchers. As you see, the AGM-65 Maverick is loaded on either the LAU-117 launcher or the LAU-88 launcher. In either case, there are no external streamers visible with this missile, other than the pylon safing pin. Look to ensure the missile motor igniter cable, located in the rear of the missile, is disconnected. If not, notify the weapons expediter. Also, in the case of the AGM-65, avoid touching either the front glass or a plastic cover on these units. If you're dealing with the AGM-88 HARM on the LAU-118, you'll find it's considered safe when the safe arm key is in the safe position with the pin and streamer attached. You should also see the radome and TDD covers installed. This leaves us one more external munition to talk about. The 2.75 rockets which are loaded into the LAU-131 rocket launcher. When considering safety, check that the shorting pin and streamer is installed in the aft end of the rocket launcher. Further look at the intervalometer to see that it's in the A position. Now it's time to cover some general safety procedures. Be aware that you should always minimize standing or parking in front, to the rear, underneath, or to the side of all forward-firing munitions. Common sense prevails here. Furthermore, when any transmission device like handheld or truck-mounted radios or cell phones are used, they must be outside 25 feet of an explosive-loaded aircraft. Also, check local base instructions for more detailed exclusions and exceptions. In addition, when you're jacking, towing, or hangaring aircraft, exclusions or allowable activities vary depending upon location. So check local policies and procedures for exact unit requirements. Just remember, whenever you're in doubt, as a minimum, consult Technical Order 11A-1-33, Maintenance of Explosive Loaded Aircraft. Now up to this point, we've simply covered the most common munitions found on the F-16 aircraft. So once the explosive loaded aircraft is safed, we can then turn our attention to those allowable maintenance operations. These can include such things as normal servicing, pre-flight checks, through-flight checks, post-flight checks, some operational checks, and some minor maintenance, most LRU removal and installs, minor sheet metal work, and tire changes involving only one tire on an axle jack. On the other hand, major maintenance such as engine changes, putting aircraft on tripod jacks, flap stab removal, and installation or removal of stress panels and so on require downloading of all munitions prior to performing maintenance. In addition, if you're working on open fuel cells, all 20mm ammunition must be downloaded. Furthermore, if SMS power is required, call your weapons expediter for assurances on safe weapons configurations. The bottom line, before any maintenance is accomplished on explosive loaded aircraft, always check the aircraft forms. Check the appropriate job guide or tech order, and check with the weapons expediter. Again, this is only a partial list of some of the more common items, and although this completes our maintenance on explosive loaded aircraft review, any questions should be referred to your supervisor for further clarification.